Welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson. We are going to be continuing with our number 15 theme for this week. So Monday you learned and recapped how to partition the number 15 by splitting it into tens and ones. Yesterday you were looking for that pattern and finding all of those ways of making 15 by adding two numbers together. And you guessed it, today we are going to be finding all the different ways that we can subtract to make the number 15. Okay, now before we move on to that, I've got my pointer. We're just going to warm up our number brains with a very, very quick game. I'm going to point to a number and you are going to shout out the number as loudly as you can. Now go quite quick, so you've got to be looking very carefully. All right, off we go. Okay, that was just a really, really quick game, wasn't it? So what you can do now is you can practice that game when you are at home. You can do it with numbers in a row, you can do it with numbers out of order, any way you like, but you can do it with a brother or a sister or a grown-up as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to move on and we're going to practice our learn it. So another warm-up. So let's share my screen and hopefully it will load. And you'll be able to see them now. I've jumbled up the order a little bit so that they're not in the same order as the other day, because otherwise that will be too easy for you. All right, so we're going to go from 3 add 7 equals 10. Well done. You don't need to write these down. You can just shout the numbers, shout the missing numbers at the screen. Okay, so off you go. Careful with that one because the answer is not 10. Missing number 2 add what equals 10? Six add what equals 10? One add what equals 10? 4 add what equals 10? I'm going quite quick, so hope you're keeping up. 8 add what equals 10? Okay, so another game that we can do, and you're going to need to pause the video while you play this one. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to start at each of these numbers and I'd like you to count backwards until you get to the number 15. So you can start with the number, what number is this one here? Can you see? What number is that? Yeah, absolutely right. That's the number 19. So I want you to start at 19 and count backwards and stop when you get at 15. And do the same for those other numbers as well. So you'll need to pause the video and have a go at doing that. Okay, well done if you did. Now, that's really important skill as well. So when you are at home, when you are out, when you're going for a walk, you can practice counting backwards because it's really important that we know how to count forwards and that we can count backwards as well. And starting from any number, not just starting from 10, not just starting from 20, but starting from any number, because that will really help you with your understanding of number. So that's a game that you can play as well. So moving on, I said at the beginning of the video that we were going to be thinking about subtraction. All right, now you're getting really good at addition, you're getting really good at subtraction, and you're really looking hard for those patterns to make it easier for you. But you're also doing a really good job of checking your answers using actual objects, because that's important as well, that we use things that we can touch to help us solve questions. So keep doing that as well. Okay, so find and represent. So find and show all the subtraction number facts of the number 15. So you're going to need to count to 15 accurately, which means correctly. You need to look carefully at the starting number when we subtract. You are going to need to work out how many we need to take away to get to 15. And most importantly, you're going to be looking to see if you can spot and notice that pattern. So first of all, before we do anything, what does subtraction actually mean? Can you think of another word for subtraction? Yeah, okay, so we can say take away, we can say minus, and we can say subtraction. They all mean the same thing. They all mean take away, and they all mean that the number gets less. So do we start with the biggest or the smallest number when we subtract? Have a think. Yeah, you're right. We must always start with the biggest number. And then what happens is that biggest number gets smaller when we take a number away from it. Okay, so that's really important. And when we do subtraction, we start with the biggest number and we take away from that biggest number. Okay, so we're going to start off. I've got a little bit of a problem here. So I've got 20 coloured pencils on the screen. Okay, now they're brand new, nice and sharp, but I only need 15 of them. So we need to work out how many do I need to subtract? How many do I need to take away? So think about how you might do that. Okay, so I've got 20 to start with, but I only want 15. So think about those different ways that we've done in class. Think about the lessons that you've had with Miss Gardner, Mrs. Parker, Mrs. Thornton, and think about how would you do it? Okay, so I've got 20, but I only want 15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out 15. Okay, the 15 that I need. So there's my 15 that I need, and I've put the red box around it, so I know that that's the 15 that I need. So how many then do I need to take away from the 20? How many don't I need? How many are left? Yeah, that's right, it's 5. Okay, so how would we record that as a number sentence? How would we write that down? How many did we start with? We started with 20, didn't we? And how many were left? How many did we take away? That's right, that was the 5. And we were left with our 15. So there's our 15. And here are the 5 that we need to take away. So we start with 20, take those 5 away, and we are left with 15. Okay, so how could we use a number line to help us? Now, I know that in your catch-up packs, we've given you a number line. I've got a number line here. And just like Mrs. Thornton said, if you've got a ruler, that's also a number line as well. If you can't find your number line from your catch-up pack, or if you've drawn on it and you can't see the numbers anymore, don't worry, because you can draw out your own or ask your grown-ups to draw another one for you. But if we're going to use our number line to help us find the answer to this question, what do we need to do? So we started with 20 pencil crayons, didn't we? Okay, so we're going to start at 20. So I'm just going to put a little ring around the number 20 to remind me that that's where I need to start. And we need to work out how many jumps do we need to do to get to the number 15. That's really important that you don't count a jump until you have done it. So we're not going to stay on the number 20 and say that's a jump. Okay, we don't count it as a jump until we have jumped from 20 to the number 19. So let's work out how many jumps we need to do. So starting on 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we did 5 jumps. Okay, so it was 20, take away 5 equals that 15. Okay, so your turn now to practice. So you're going to need to pause the video in just a moment, and you are going to solve the missing number. Okay, so at the moment it says 19 take away something equals 15. So you're going to use your number line. Think about what we just did a moment ago. So what number are you going to start on? What number do you need to jump back to? Okay, so pause the video if you need to and work out how many jumps do you need to do to get from the number 19 to the number 15. Okay, well done to you if you did it. So we're going to start on the number 19. So I'll put my little circle around it to remind me. So how many jumps are we going to do? 1 to 18, 2, 3, 4, and I've landed on the number 15. So what would our number sentence need to say? It would need to say 19 take away 4 equals 15. So I give yourself a pat on the back if you got that one correct. Well done to you. But remember, sometimes the answer can come first. So it could say 19 take away 4 equals 15, or it could say 15 equals 19 take away 4. So that's where you've got to really look closely, because sometimes the answer is at the end of the number sentence. Sometimes the answer is at the beginning. So you have to look very, very closely at that. Okay, but we always take away from the biggest number. So even though on this one, the answer comes first, we are still starting with the biggest number there and taking away from it. Okay, so that's what you need to remember when we subtract. Right, your task, your do it for today is to find and represent all of the subtraction number facts of 15. Now we've done got a bit of a head start because we've already done 2 of them together. So your task is to find the rest of them. So you can print this sheet off the website if you want to. If you don't want to, if you don't have a printer, do not worry, because what you can do is you can write out your number line, draw your number line, and then underneath it, write down all of your number sentences. Now, I want all of you to start from 20 to start with, but then you might want to challenge yourself, and you might want to then start from the number 25 or start from the number 30 and see if you can find all of the different ways of making the number 15 by subtracting. So that's a challenge for you. Okay, I want all of you to start on 20, but then if you're up for the challenge, you can start from 25 or even 30 using the number line to help you and counting out actual objects. So you might have to go on another little hunt around your house so that you can check your answers by counting out. Okay, so you're going to need to pause the video while you go off and do that. Then you're going to come back and we're going to have a look at the secure it question. Okay, so good luck with that task and come back in a while when you've done it. Right, well done to everyone for doing your do it task. Now, secure it. We've got Alex here on the screen and she is saying that 20 take away 6 equals 15. Now, I want to know, do you agree with her? Do you think she is correct or do you think she has made a mistake? So she's used a number line to help her. So you need to look very carefully and decide, do you agree with her or do you not agree with her? But you need to give a reason. Now, if we were at school, just like I said the other day, we would be using our purple pens to answer this question because it is our reasoning question. So really important, you need to give a reason. So if you agree with Alex, why do you agree with her? If you don't agree with her, why don't you agree with her? So pause the video while you have a good look and either write down your answer or tell your answer to a grown-up and then unpause it so that we can go through the answer together. Okay, so did you have a really good go at this? I'm sure that you did. So you might want to have used your work from your do it task to help you with this. But 20 take away 6 equals 15. So she's used her number line. She started on the number 20. Now 20 take away 6, she's landed on the number 15. So did she do 6 jumps? Has she taken 6 away? Let's count her jumps. So let's just get this ready. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is she correct? Do you agree with her? No, I don't agree with her either, because she's only showing 5 jumps on her number line. So what should her number sentence have been? Yeah, that's right. It should have been 20 take away 5 equals 15. Now, some of you might have just known that already from the work that you have just done. But I think the mistake that she has made is a mistake that lots of us make. when we do our number line work. And I think she has counted 20 as a jump. Okay, so I think she has done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she didn't follow the rule of you only count the jump when you have done the jump. So I think that's the mistake that she has made. So well done to you if you said that you don't agree with her. That means you must have been looking very, very closely at the clues on the screen. Right, so well done for a super maths lesson today. Tomorrow, we are going to be carrying on with the number 15, but we're going to do a mixture of addition and subtraction. So you're going to have to really think about all the different methods that we have learned so far. All right, so see you in a little bit.